that a real baby bump, or has she strapped it on?
Looking at that, I'm beginning to think that's some fat suit she's borrowed from Hollywood. It just doesn't look normal, does it?
This is gross and grim and deranged on every level.
The general public aren't so stupid that they look at Harry and Meghan and think that that's a reflection of the royal family.
Fresh from repeatedly telling us that they were escaping the United Kingdom because they wanted privacy. They hated the press. They hated everything to be involved in the intrusion in their lives. All she does now with her jams that are crap is, you duplicitous woman. How does that make any sense?
There's something very wrong with that shape. You know what I'm thinking? I'm glad the Queen is no longer with us.
Oh, this is getting worse, this video. I think there is now sick essentially in my mouth.
So everybody, let me know, is that a real baby bump? Because I don't think it is.
There's a reason jaws are dropping across the globe today, and it has everything to do with Meghan Markle's hospital room video, one that's gone viral for all the wrong reasons. But here's the real kicker. An insider, a hospital worker who claims to have been there that day, says this was no typical maternity moment. This was, allegedly, a carefully orchestrated performance starring a fake baby bump straight out of a Hollywood costume warehouse.
But we've now reached a point where I possibly am going to be sick live on the television. Meghan Markle has posted a cringy video of her and Prince Harry dancing in a hospital.
You heard that right. According to this source, Meghan and Harry allegedly arrived with what looked like a prosthetic pregnancy belly, just like the ones used in blockbuster films and low-rent tabloid setups. And while Meghan danced to that cringe-inducing baby mama anthem, the staff couldn't believe their eyes. "We thought it was some kind of music video shoot," the worker allegedly confessed. "It didn't look natural at all. It looked staged." The words send a chill down your spine, don't they? Because in that moment, the lines between royal dignity and pop culture circus blurred in the most humiliating way possible.
When the sound come on, let me see you get gone.
Imagine the scene. Bright hospital lights, sterile floors, and there's Meghan Markle twirling around, clutching a bump that staff say looked as stiff and shiny as a mannequin's midsection. It was sliding around, the worker allegedly revealed, like it had been strapped on in the back hallway. Harry was there too, dancing beside her, his expression a mix of forced bravado and palpable embarrassment. He looked like he was playing along with her fantasy, the worker reportedly said, like he was in on it but didn't dare speak up.
Oh God, we're having to look at that again, damn it.
I can't take my eyes off it.
What is going to come out of that bulge? What is it?
The word allegedly hangs heavy in the air, but the rumors are swirling like wildfire. Could it really be that Meghan was faking it, right there in a hospital room of all places? And if so, why? For the cameras? For the headlines? For the next round of social media hysteria that seems to feed on every move she makes? The hospital worker claims the staff were left stunned, forced to pretend it was just another routine maternity appointment. But deep down they say, everyone knew something was off.
Well, and look, JK,
Oh
the lyrics are prego, but I'm still doing moves like Beyonce. Yeah, I said I'm pregnant. Get the child support and pay my rent. Your opinion is irrelevant because I'm a baby mama. I can do what I wanna.
And this is just the beginning of what promises to be the most jaw-dropping chapter yet in the Meghan and Harry saga. Because if a fake baby bump was allegedly smuggled in and flaunted in front of hospital staff, what else has been a performance all along? Little did they know what was coming next. So here's where things start to twist into the realm of Hollywood fakery, because that hospital worker's whispers didn't end with just the bump's odd appearance. They claim it was a full-on prop, the kind of fake belly you'd expect to see on a movie set, not in a maternity ward. According to the worker, Meghan didn't just waltz in for a routine checkup. She allegedly strolled in with a carefully prepped look, complete with a prosthetic that seemed designed to fool everyone in the room. It looked straight out of a prop department, the worker reportedly said. Nothing about it moved naturally. It sat there stiff, too big and too low.
Is she ever going to get to the point where she literally looks in the mirror and goes, nobody's interested in my jam or my life, nobody likes me, shut the hell up?
This alleged prop wasn't just an accessory. It was the centerpiece of Meghan's hospital room performance. The hospital worker says the staff felt like extras in a scene that had nothing to do with medical care. Meghan was in full performance mode, according to the whispers, twirling, laughing, turning the private sanctuary of a maternity suite into a stage. It was like she was rehearsing for a role, the worker reportedly shared, not having a baby. These weren't just harmless antics. This was, insiders allege, a calculated move to shape her image. And Harry? The same worker claims he looked tense, like he knew this was all for the cameras. He was dancing too, the worker said, but it was like he was watching it from a distance, like he didn't want to be there but had no choice. Staff say they were told to treat. Everything is normal, no questions asked. But they couldn't help but trade glances when the bump slipped a little as Meghan turned, or when her movements made it clear that what they were seeing wasn't a natural curve. It shifted, the worker said, just a little, but enough to know it wasn't real. If this is true, and remember, it's all alleged, it would be one of the most brazen stunts the royals have seen in years. A fake baby bump in a real hospital, staged like a scene from a reality show. And it's already sparked a wave of speculation online. Was this about keeping the Meghan brand alive? A twisted bid to control the headlines? Or was there something even more calculated beneath the surface, like an attempt to overshadow another royal event or keep her name at the center of every conversation?
It's the day of trooping the colour. And this is what the Daily Mail now refers to as Sussex distraction techniques.
One thing's clear, this isn't going away anytime soon. Because if that bump was allegedly a fake, what else has been part of Meghan's act? The staff at that hospital say they'll never look at the royal couple the same way again. But that was just the beginning, because behind those closed hospital doors, the whispers only got louder. Inside those sterile hospital walls, the backstage gossip was sizzling hotter than Meghan's carefully choreographed twerk.
Every single time there is a major event in the royal calendar, they will do their absolute best to distract from it, to take away the attention from it.
Staff started trading stories in hushed voices, worried that even the walls might be listening. We weren't supposed to say a word, one worker reportedly said, but everyone was thinking the same thing. This was no normal bump. The worker claims it was clear from the way Meghan moved, the way the bump shifted ever so slightly under that clingy black dress, like it was an accessory, not a part of her. Whispers of a fake baby bump are the kind of thing you'd expect from a low-rent tabloid, not from within the echoing halls of a respected hospital. But these whispers didn't stay confined. Rumors started to swirl, fed by the staff who were there and saw it up close. It was almost like a scene from a soap opera, the worker allegedly said. There was no genuine excitement, no quiet moments of anticipation. It felt scripted. That's the word that keeps echoing. Scripted. Like Harry and Meghan were playing characters in a drama of their own making. The staff's chatter wasn't just about the bump either. There was talk of how the couple acted around each other, how Harry looked unsure, how Meghan never broke character. He kept glancing around the room, the worker claims, like he was checking to see who was buying it. And in that moment, those who were sworn to silence couldn't help but wonder, was this video just another chapter in Meghan's carefully managed narrative? A moment meant to distract from something else entirely?
I think he's embarrassed. Do you notice she's loving the limelight? She's loving the camera on her. He's really not. I think he's embarrassed by the whole thing.
Hospital staffers allegedly joked in private that they were in the presence of a performance more suited to the set of a reality show than a labor ward. It was like they were trying to overshadow some big royal event, one insider speculated, like they needed to make sure the world was still talking about them. The music, the dancing, the over-the-top baby bump, every detail choreographed for maximum effect. And when the video finally surfaced online, it was as if the final scene had been completed, ready for public consumption. The staff's quiet suspicions have now become the loudest whispers on social media, fueling a frenzy of speculation. Is it real? Is it fake? Why would they do this in a hospital room? The questions just keep piling up, and there are no easy answers, only more rumors, more alleged backstage gossip, and more damage to the carefully curated image Meghan had spent years building. And the staff? They say they're still haunted by that day, because they knew deep down this was no typical maternity moment, but even they didn't know what was coming next. If you thought the alleged fake baby bump was the only shocking detail, wait until you hear about the song Meghan was dancing to. According to the staff who were there, Meghan picked a song with lyrics that left everyone in the room squirming. I'm pregnant. Get that child support and pay my rent. The worker says it was like a private club performance, not the gentle atmosphere you'd expect from a woman waiting to welcome a child. She was twerking, showing off that bump, like it was all about the show, the worker allegedly shared. It wasn't just the music that raised eyebrows. The hospital worker said it felt like a performance meant to be seen.
She just wants to be a Kardashian, doesn't she? She just wants to be famous in any way possible. She wasn't a particularly good actress. You know, she opened those boxes on Deal or No Deal. She had bit parts.
She was loving every minute of it, the staff member confided. The camera was rolling, the music was blasting, and she was playing it up like she was on stage. Even Harry, according to the worker, seemed to be caught between embarrassment and forced enthusiasm. He was dancing too. The worker claimed, but he looked like he didn't know what to do with himself, like he was trying to support her, but he knew how ridiculous it looked. And it's not just one hospital worker's word. There's a growing chorus of voices online echoing the same disbelief. Clips of the video have gone viral, with fans and critics alike saying the whole thing looked like a parody, not a proud moment of motherhood. It looked like a lap dancing club, one commentator said in a podcast, with Meghan front and center, holding that bump and twerking away. Another voice chimed in, it's like she turned the birth of her child into a performance for the world to see. The worst part? This wasn't just some private moment leaked by accident. Meghan allegedly posted the video herself 4 years after it was filmed, like she was proud of it, like it was another piece of the carefully curated brand she's built since leaving royal life behind. And that's what has people talking. Why would someone who claims to crave privacy choose to share something so cringe? Critics say it's proof that Meghan and Harry can't help themselves. They need to be the center of attention, no matter how embarrassing or bizarre the spectacle. But the staff say this was only the beginning of the story, because once that video was out there, the rumors started to snowball. Some insiders say the couple knew exactly what they were doing, pushing the boundaries of royal dignity to stay relevant. Others insist this was Meghan's way of mocking the monarchy's stiff traditions, showing that she can do whatever she wants, whenever she wants.
She is just desperate for people to know her, admire her, like her, think she's beautiful, think she's fun, think she's cool, thinks her marriage is the best marriage in the world, her husband's the best husband in the world. I mean, he looks like a gimp. What on earth is that?
But even those closest to the scene didn't know how far the fallout would reach, because what happened in that hospital room didn't stay in that hospital room, and the whispers only grew louder from there. Once the video made its rounds, the fallout was immediate and merciless. Critics didn't hold back, calling Meghan's antics in the hospital room an all-out assault on royal protocol. Royal insiders who've seen enough scandal to last a lifetime said they had never witnessed anything quite like this. This wasn't just a breach of etiquette. One royal expert fumed. This was Meghan turning what should have been a sacred moment into a showstopper. Like she was auditioning for another reality series, not becoming a mother. That same sentiment was echoed in every corner of social media and in the hushed conversations of the hospital staff. The worker, who had already dropped the bombshell about the alleged fake bump, had even more to share. We all felt like we were part of a circus, not a maternity ward, the worker reportedly said. There was no hint of the quiet anticipation that usually fills that room. Instead, it was like we were all extras in a play we never asked to be in. Commentators didn't mince words. She's behaving like a Kardashian in a tiara, one podcast host snapped. Another added, this is beyond embarrassing. It's a complete meltdown of royal dignity. And if you thought these were just the ramblings of random critics, think again. Even respected insiders who've spent decades watching the royal family say this was the final straw. There is nothing royal about this, one declared. It's tacky, it's attention-seeking, and it's a disgrace to everything the crown is meant to stand for.
There's something very wrong with that shape, in my view. I don't know, look, I'm mesmerised, but I'm kind of sick. Do you know what I'm thinking? I'm glad the Queen is no longer with us, because, oh my Lord, how she would be shuddering.
The alleged hospital worker's words carried even more weight as the video's impact spread. It wasn't just the dancing, the worker said. It was the way the bump moved, like it was strapped on for a quick TikTok, not a real pregnancy. We were all so uncomfortable, but we had to keep up appearances. That one phrase, had to keep up appearances, has stuck with people. Because it's the ultimate betrayal of what a hospital birth should be. Genuine, intimate, and deeply human. Not a performance for the world, but the drama didn't end when the video went live. The worker said there were whispers afterward, people in the know speculating that Meghan had crossed a line that even her most loyal defenders couldn't ignore. There's a difference between modernizing the monarchy and mocking it. A palace source was reportedly overheard saying, "She's done the latter," and in that quiet moment of royal disgust, something shifted. Because if Meghan was willing to allegedly fake something so intimate, what else would she do to keep the cameras rolling? Little did they know that this one video would set off a chain reaction in the palace and beyond. And the workers' backstage gossip was only the start of the avalanche. As the scandal snowballed, the hospital workers' backstage confessions painted an even murkier picture of that day. It was like watching a bad movie, they reportedly said. You know, the kind, cheap sets, fake props, overacting, but this wasn't a movie. It was real life, or at least it was supposed to be. According to the worker, the bump Meghan wore didn't just look out of place, it looked like it was designed for the stage.
And what this shows now is that these two are actually not even on the D list, they are on the Z list. Every single project they have touched has turned to shit, and this for me is a final straw because there is nothing royal about this.
It had that shiny plastic sheen, the worker whispered, like it had been plucked from a costume department. And it wasn't just how the bump looked, it was how it moved. Every time she turned, it shifted, the worker said. Not the way a real belly would move. It was stiff, like it was filled with foam or something. Not natural at all. The rumors swirling around Meghan's pregnancies have always been a toxic cocktail of tabloid gossip and feverish speculation. But this alleged confession from someone who was actually there, it's enough to make even the most skeptical observer pause. The worker claims the staff was told to stay silent, to treat Meghan's performance like it was just another day. But you could see it in everyone's eyes, the worker said. We were watching a performance, not a patient. The secrecy was as thick as the sterile air in that hospital room. Staff who dared to question the authenticity of that bump were allegedly met with stern warnings. Don't talk about what you saw, just do your job. And so they did, while the whispers only grew louder. Online, the video sparked a frenzy of speculation, with social media sleuths picking apart every second of Meghan's twerking routine. Look at how it sits. Too low, too big, not natural, one user wrote. She's faking it, just like everything else. And while some called it an overreaction, others pointed out that it's not just about a bump, it's about trust. If Meghan was willing to allegedly fake this moment, what does that say about everything else she's shared with the world? Insiders allege that Meghan's choice to post this video 4 years later was no accident. She knew exactly what she was doing, one claimed. She wanted to make headlines again, and she did. But the worker who watched it all unfold in real time says there's something deeply unsettling about the whole thing.
These two are now an international embarrassment for the royal family, and I really, really do think that the time has come to strip the titles.
It wasn't about a baby, they said. It was about her image, and that's what made it so disturbing. What's worse? This alleged hospital charade wasn't an isolated incident. It was just another chapter in Meghan's ongoing performance. And while some in the hospital tried to brush it off as harmless theatrics, others saw it for what it really was. A calculated move that has left even the most loyal royal supporters questioning what's real and what's just another carefully staged scene. The damage, it seems, was only just beginning. As the whispers from the hospital grew, so did the sense that something much bigger was at stake. This wasn't just about Meghan's alleged fake bump anymore. This was about the unraveling of an entire image. She's lost all sense of mystique, one royal insider allegedly said. Everything she does is for the camera, for the next headline, the next social media wave. The staff in that hospital suite saw firsthand how Meghan's performance blurred the lines between reality and PR spin, and they're still talking about it. Even more damning, the video seemed to be a direct challenge to the kind of quiet dignity that had once defined the monarchy. She's not just oversharing, one commentator argued. She's dismantling the very idea of royal mystery. Where Diana once wielded her vulnerability with careful grace, Meghan allegedly turned a private moment into a spectacle for the world to see. And that hospital worker's backstage confession only fuels the growing sense that Meghan isn't content to be a footnote in royal history. She wants to rewrite it entirely. But it's not just Meghan's image that's on the line here. Harry, too, is caught in the crossfire. In the video, he's seen awkwardly dancing alongside her, a forced smile on his face. The worker says it looked like he was trying to be supportive, but his eyes told another story. Like he knew this was crossing a line but didn't dare say it out loud. He looked trapped, the worker claimed, like he was part of the show, but not in control. The video's release, years after it was allegedly filmed, only adds to the growing sense that Meghan is determined to keep herself and Harry at the center of every conversation.
But it didn't even look like she was truly pregnant in the video. It was weird, the ball that she was holding while she was dancing. I've not seen any pregnant woman dancing in that way. Then again, I'm not really surrounded by women that would dance in that way. It was uncouth. It's not something I don't expect of a princess, but and again, she's not really a princess, is she?
And while some fans see it as a harmless, if bizarre, glimpse into their lives, others say it's proof that Meghan is willing to go to any lengths to stay in the spotlight. It's not just embarrassing, one royal expert argued. It's dangerous, because it erodes the very thing that gives the monarchy power, its ability to keep some things private. Insiders say the reaction from the palace has been icy, at best. King Charles and Prince William, already worn down by years of controversy, are reportedly horrified by Meghan's alleged antics. It's a final straw for them, one source claimed. There's only so much they can ignore, and this video was too much. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about Meghan and Harry anymore. It's about the entire institution they've chosen to keep themselves tethered to, even as they claim to have left it behind. And the staff? They say the memory of that day, of the bump that wouldn't stay put, of the forced smiles and the awkward glances, still lingers like a bad dream, because they know better than anyone that what happened in that room wasn't just a one-off stunt. It was a glimpse into the mindset of a woman who, insiders allege, has always been willing to trade the quiet power of royalty for the fleeting rush of viral fame, and little did anyone know, the world was about to see just how far that trade would go. Once the video hit social media, the reaction was instant and brutal. Memes, hot takes, and shocked commentary flooded every platform, and the alleged hospital workers' backstage confessions only added fuel to the fire. It's not just cringe. One commentator snapped in a video podcast. It's calculated. Meghan wants this attention. She thrives on it. Others pointed to the hospital setting, calling it the ultimate betrayal of trust. This wasn't a safe place anymore, said one self-styled royal insider. This was her stage. The workers' claims painted the scene in vivid detail. The sterile hospital room turned into a dance floor, the air heavy with the beat of that Baby Mama song, and Meghan in the spotlight, arching her back and holding that suspiciously large bump. It was like something out of a bad music video, the worker allegedly said. We just stood there pretending not to see how fake it all looked. The phrases, like a prop, like a performance, like something rehearsed, those echoes of disbelief have become the soundtrack to this scandal.
Like, what? How many babies did she have? It doesn't, to me, actually, I never bought into the conspiracy theory that she was never pregnant. But looking at that, I'm beginning to think that's some fat suit she's borrowed from Hollywood. It just doesn't look normal, does it?
Online, the video's bizarre nature has only intensified the chatter. She's dancing like she's in a club, not a hospital, one post read. That bump is clearly fake. Another was more pointed. She's using a Hollywood prop to overshadow real moments, like trooping the color. Because that's another twist in this tale. Some allege that Meghan's choice to post the video was no coincidence. It was, according to online gossip, a calculated move to steal the spotlight from the royal family's big day. And then there's Harry. In the footage, he's half committed to the routine, shifting awkwardly as if he'd rather be anywhere else. He's embarrassed, the hospital worker said. He was doing it for her, not because he wanted to. You could see it in his face. He was mortified. That's the image that keeps playing out across social media. Harry, caught in the act of a performance he didn't sign up for. Meghan, reveling in the camera's gaze. And somewhere in between, the crumbling idea of royal dignity. The hospital workers' whispers have become the chorus to this viral drama. We were told to keep quiet, they said. But it was obvious. This was no real pregnancy. It was a show. And those words have taken on a life of their own, echoing from podcasts to YouTube videos to Twitter threads, dissecting every frame of that twerking routine. Because in the end, this isn't just a cringe moment. It's a symbol of something much deeper. A sign that for Meghan and Harry, privacy is just another stage prop. And that video, with all its awkward dancing and suspiciously stiff bump, is now the proof that some insiders say they always suspected was out there. But even as the gossip rages, there's an unspoken question hanging in the air. If Meghan was willing to allegedly fake something so personal, what else is she hiding? The staff's backstage revelations are just the tip of the iceberg, because behind that one viral video, there's an entire performance waiting to be exposed. And for those in the know, the real drama is only just getting started. Inside the palace, the reaction to Meghan's hospital video has reportedly been one of disbelief and quiet fury. According to palace insiders, King Charles and Prince William are horrified by the sheer audacity of it all.
Put the bill to Parliament now. Just strip them.
Well,
Just strip them of their titles. I'm done.
At some point, William's going to come in, and we all know where William stands on this. And you know that the general public aren't so stupid that they look at Harry and Meghan and think that that's a reflection of the royal family.
They've always tried to keep some semblance of dignity around these two, one source claimed. But this was the final straw. You don't turn a maternity suite into a music video set and expect to walk away unscathed. The workers' allegations about the fake bump have only intensified the palace's frustration. It's not just about being inappropriate, said a royal staffer who's been watching this saga unfold from the sidelines. It's about trust. If you're willing to allegedly fake something like that, what else are you willing to fake? And the whispers of title stripping are getting louder. Some say it's time for Meghan and Harry to be cut loose entirely. The last of their royal titles gone for good. Online, that's exactly what people are calling for. Strip them now, read one post with thousands of likes. They're an embarrassment to the monarchy. This video proves it. Others are convinced this was Meghan's plan all along, to overshadow the royals' carefully curated image and replace it with her own brand of reality TV-style drama. She's obsessed with the spotlight, said one commentator on a popular podcast. And Harry? He's just along for the ride. The hospital worker's backstage account has only added a sinister edge to the whole affair. We felt like we were being forced to lie, the worker allegedly said, to pretend this was normal when it was anything but. That's a line that stuck with people. The idea that even in the most private moments, Meghan's alleged need for the spotlight trumps everything else. And for the palace, that's the part that stings the most. Because if there's one thing the monarchy has always relied on, it's the illusion of dignity. And Meghan's video, complete with twerking, rap lyrics, and an alleged fake bump, shattered that illusion in a single viral post. Now, as the gossip swirls and the world watches with popcorn in hand, the palace is left to pick up the pieces. Insiders say there are serious discussions underway about how to contain the damage, but behind closed doors, the mood is one of quiet resolve. This is the kind of thing you can't ignore, said one source. It's a question of credibility now, and for the crown, that's everything. But what about Meghan and Harry? Will this be the scandal that finally forces them out of the royal orbit once and for all? Or will it just be another chapter in a saga that's always been bigger than anyone bump, real or not? The staff who witnessed that day in the hospital say they've never seen anything like it. And as the world keeps talking, one thing is clear. The real question isn't whether Meghan's bump was real. It's whether she's willing to stop the show before the final curtain falls. Now, with the video's echoes still reverberating, across the world, the question everyone's asking is simple. Where does it end? Meghan and Harry's hospital dance video has become more than just a social media curiosity. It's a symbol of a couple who some say have turned every private moment into a public performance. And if the whispers from that hospital worker are true, if that bump was nothing more than a carefully chosen Hollywood prop, it would be the ultimate betrayal of authenticity. Critics are already predicting that this scandal will have lasting consequences. This isn't just about a twerking routine, one commentator declared on a late-night podcast. It's about the monarchy's very image, the idea that you can't trust what you see anymore. And for the palace, that's the most dangerous kind of scandal. Because once people start to believe the line between performance and reality has been crossed, where does it stop? Insiders say King Charles and Prince William are weighing their options carefully. They're tired of the drama, a palace source allegedly said. They're tired of the headlines, the constant overshadowing of royal events. This video has pushed things to a breaking point. And as for Harry, the same source claims he's caught in the middle, forced to choose between his family's reputation and Meghan's insatiable hunger for the spotlight. Meanwhile, online chatter is relentless. She's crossed the line. One viral comment read, first the Oprah interview, then the Spotify and Netflix deals, and now this? It's a pattern, not a one-off. Others speculate that Harry will eventually break away, unable to keep playing along in Meghan's world of endless spectacle. He's a prince, but he's acting like a supporting player in her drama, another voice chimed in. The hospital workers' whispers have become the most damning part of this story. It was fake, they allegedly said. Not just the bump, but the whole atmosphere. It was like we were part of a show, not a birth. Those words cut deep, because they hint at something that goes beyond this one video. They suggest a calculated move to keep Meghan's brand alive no matter the cost. And in a world obsessed with authenticity, that's the kind of scandal that doesn't just fade away. So what's next? Will Meghan and Harry double down, turning every moment into another viral sensation? Or will the backlash finally be too much to weather, forcing them to retreat from the cameras they claim to despise? One thing's for sure, this video has left an indelible mark on their story. And for everyone who's been watching from the sidelines, there's only one thing left to do. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're dying to hear what you think. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because the next video on your screen is waiting. And trust me, you won't believe what's coming next.